Hi guys, I'm back. I soaked for a little while, and what I forgot to mention is, before you get your feet in the water and get nice and comfy because the hot water feels so good, or if you are always hot and you want to try cool water, that's fine as well. Some people can put some Epsom salt in here because that soothes achy joints and muscles. So if you're on your feet all day and you want to give them a little treat, you could try that. I just have plain water. But I have my towel laid out and all my supplies ready to go because once your feet are wet, you don't want to walk around on the kitchen floor or living room floor. If you have carpet, then those fuzzies get all over your feet, and it's just better to be prepared ahead of time. Anyhow, one thing I also forgot to mention is make sure you remove your old polish, clean out your cuticles and nail beds prior to soaking, because this next step is exfoliation and cleaning. So I just keep in my nail bin, and actually I empty this out when it's all done, dry it out, and I put all my nail stuff back in it, so it's an easy store for my bathroom closet. But in there I keep just regular table sugar, and it doesn't matter if it's crumply or not like that, because obviously you can uncrumple it. And then you can use any soap that you want. Today I'm using something tropical, Bath & Body Works Tahiti Island Dream, so I can feel like I'm away on a paradise somewhere. And you just put some, first of all, get all the clumps out. Kind of mix it up a little bit. And then you just put, and there's no set amount, I don't measure it, but I do kind of add and subtract here and there. But you put some soap in your hands, mix it with some sugar, just regular old table sugar, maybe a little more soap. And here's the crazy part. You lift up your foot, and you put it on your foot, and you just start scrubbing. And actually, one of my favorite tools is this pumice stone you can get at Walgreens, Walmart, anywhere. If you want it a little more rough, you add more sugar and less soap. It feels so good, even to do your own massage. Gets that dead summer skin off of there from walking around barefoot or in flip-flops, from being in hot shoes all day at work. And I probably put a little too much on this time, trying to make my point here, but it smells really good, so it's a little bit of aromatherapy as well. And once you get it kind of where it's on there and rubbed in, oh, I love that. Love it so much. Then you kind of just wet your pumice stone, and you can use as little or as much pressure as you want and get the areas that are drier. I always get the heels and the outside of my toes. Like this big toe, for some reason, always gets dry right here. The bottom of that toe. Wherever it feels good, basically. So keep it PG for my sick friends that are watching. But yeah, this is one of my favorite parts. Because you would think giving yourself your own foot massage probably wouldn't be very relaxing, but it really does feel good, and I think your feet thank you for it later, and they feel so soft and smooth when you're done. You get the outer edge, and sometimes if they itch too, this gives it a really good scratching. So I just give it a really good scrub everywhere. And like I said, you can add more sugar granules if you want it a little bit rougher and less soap, or you can add more soap and less sugar if you don't want it as scratchy, but you can still use the pumice stone with either. So, and you do this as long as you want. Like I said, there's no rules, no set time. Make it work for you. And I'll just, while I'm scrubbing, give a quick plug to my other video. I recently, actually today, did a video for an icy hot patch for my lower back. And I put it on about 3 o'clock. And it's 4 o'clock now, and I'll be going back to that video to give a review of it. I said I'd come back in about a couple hours and see how it was working, but I tell you what, I had to bend over to fill this tub in the bathtub, and I'm also sitting on my floor right now, bending over to do this, and I already feel like I have more range of motion. I'm not as stiff. I'm not as uncomfortable. So I do think that it's working. So I highly recommend it so far. I don't know that it will last 8 hours, but you'll have to go check out my other video for that information. So then I rinse this off, rinse my hands off, rinse my foot off. And you can always, if you want to and you don't mind having, of course I've got a towel under me so you can dry your feet first, but you can switch out the water in between, or if it's getting cold you can put new hot water in. It's up to you. If you have kids at home for the summer and or a husband or a wife, you can have them do it for you and get pampered a little bit. Oh, it would be a nice thing to do on a couple's night when you're staying in. Couple's night in, you know, money's tight these days, and date nights can be very expensive, even movie nights or dinner dates. So this is something you and your loved one can both enjoy. If you're male and female, you know, women always like pedicures, I think, foot rubs, and guys definitely like to be pampered as well. Don't let them tell you differently. They wouldn't mind a foot soak and a rub. I am somewhat ticklish. I'm not terribly ticklish, but this doesn't bother me, especially when I'm doing it to myself. Now, when they do it at the foot place, sometimes it does tickle. So I think it makes a difference who's doing it and how much control you have over it. But you can't really, it's too bad that I can't have you touch my feet through the video, but there's a significant difference between the two. This one is much smoother and this one is still rough because I haven't done this side yet. So when I'm done, I'll pause the video and do this side. But you just repeat with the other foot and then I'll be back. All right, hope you're enjoying so far.